Welcome to our, our BAASS Virtual Connect 2020 and our introductory session on HRMS. My name is Anna McNally, and I am your host for today's session. So are you looking for an HR option or HR solution? Join us today for an overview of HRMS and all the Sage HR or Sage endorsed products for HRMS, including employee self-serve, HR train, and benefits. An overview of Sage Human Resources software products in HR. This is our agenda for today. Our focus will be on HR and how HR administrators can be assisted by having access to their employee information, including employee data, time off, benefits, training data, and payroll. We're going to be looking at the HRMS Train module, which is an add-on product that you can track employee courses, certification, you can set up classes and manage them internally or externally. Then we're going to go into a deeper dive for the Sage HRMS Payroll and employee self-serve. On the right-hand side of your screen is actually the login page for HRMS. You can log in using Windows authentication, or you can log in with a unique username and password. Just a little reminder that you are in listen mode only. Please, if you have any questions throughout our session, put them into our question area, and at the end of our session, we will have a few minutes to answer any questions you might have. Welcome to our session on HRMS. During our session, we will focus on Sage-owned products. Sage HRMS is a core product used primarily by HR administrators, although managers and other users could be provided access with limited security rights. HRMS uses network seats similar to Sage 300 LAN packs to control how many employees are logged in at the same time. HR is installed on your server, with each user typically having an icon to access their system. Sage HRMS Train is an add-on license that enables HR administrators to keep records of each employee's training history, whether it be certification, classes, or courses, or training programs. Employee self-serve, or as we refer to it, ESS, is very popular with employees. This is a web-based portal that allows employees and managers to access information that is in the HR database. Sage has deployed their Sage 300 Payroll within HRMS for single sign-on access to both HR and payroll. If your payroll is in Sage 300 at this time, we recommend that you continue utilizing that function and use the HRMS link that will bring information from HRMS into Sage Canadian or US payroll. The Sage HRMS link is the tool that we would use to transfer information between your Sage 300 payroll or from your HRMS to your Sage 300 payroll. Let's get into more details on each of these solutions. HRMS is the core HR product that holds all of the employee information. This information can be shared with other HR modules such as training module, payroll, and self-serve. If your organization is comprised of more than one business entity, all of your companies are housed within one database in HRMS. These are called employers and are accessed by security settings. Reports can be run for one employer or all employers so that you can view the information in one single report. 5 organization levels are used to define key classifications that apply to your organization, such as division, department, locations, whatever terminology applies. This allows for more criteria when viewing data or running reports. If we review what the items or the modules and menus and submenus within HRMS, here are the menus within HRMS: employee demographics, job and pay with history. You can track your leave of absences, terminations. You can track employee skills, such as languages. You can track events. Employers and managers can record notes. You can attach employee information. There are areas for employee contacts. You can track OHS incidents, WSIB or WCB, insurance benefits plans, savings plans. You can track dependents if you self-administer your benefits. There's a time off area where you can manage personal time off, PTOs. You can also create some custom panels and fields. There are 100 or more standard reports within HRMS. And HRMS also has an ad hoc secure query reporting where a user can create their own reports, share them with others or specific individuals. And it also comes with a Crystal Report Writer. Here is an example of what HRMS looks like for an HR administrator. Common tasks are used for managing employees daily. Many of these tasks have a tailorable workflow of screens to be reviewed for the completion of that task. If you look on the left-hand side of your screen, we have several tasks under the employee module. While on the View Edit Employee, the center panel is dedicated to the employee data. You can see that from the top, there is a main menu called Personnel, and there are other menus across the top, such as Job and Pay, Benefits, Time Off, Safety, Career, and Custom. Under the Personal menu, we have submenus, and in this sample on the screen, we are on the Demographics screen. From the demographics, we have other tabs. We have HR tabs, we have termination tab, a leave of absence, so on and so forth. Within each one of those sub-menus, we have tabs. So for example, under the demographics, we are currently on the address and telephone tab, but there are other tabs to the right that you could navigate and populate. The bottom left-hand section lists the other modules, such as training, payroll, and key aspects like reports and setup for configuration. All of the configuration of HRMS is done in the system with user interface screens to access. It is very user-friendly and simple to maintain. You have the option of using insurance benefits, which would be configured to hold formulas by your benefit provider to calculate employee deductions and employer costs, such as medical, dental. These amounts can be passed into payroll. Some plans like Life, LTD, and ADD are calculated based on employees' annual income. As the employee's income is changed within HRMS under Job and Pay, these formulas will be recalculated. No more forgetting to update your records for employee deductions. Let HRMS do the work for you. Compare monthly HRMS insurance reports with your statements to confirm that both systems are in sync. Just in case you forgot to inform the insurance of any changes, the information will be provided. Time off plans can be configured to manage PTOs. PTOs such as vacation, sick days, and other time off. This includes accruals that are common with vacation plans, so you won't miss adding any extra time if necessary. Plans can be calculated in hours or days and are used to manage how much time an employee is entitled to and has taken in the year. HR administrators can see the history of time off taken on each employee profile. We'll touch on this a bit more when we talk about employee self-serve and how the information from HR is shared between HR and employee self-serve. If you like to include more details about employee training or manage your classes, you can extend your license to include the training module. We are in the training module. Within the training module, we still have access to some personnel and job information from within the HR core. This is to allow you to view information that might be critical to setting up certifications or what training or classes an employee can take. Like the other modules that we've seen or the other screens we've seen prior to this one, we have tasks. These tasks that we see on the screen are specific to the training module. The training module has some nice automations such as managing classroom training sessions. You can define the time and place of the class, who the instructor is, whether it's an internal or external class, and how many people can participate in each class. These classes can be part of a course, and many courses can make up a program. Certifications can be associated with the course, so once the course has been completed successfully, that certification is updated, and the renewal expiry date is set. You can establish job requirements so that employee who is hired into a job or moves into a new job has these requirements and can apply or sign up for the training required. This is the manager with admin access view in employee self-serve. Across the top, users can see their own information as well as manage other employees. So at the top, we have employee, which would show all this employee's personal information. For example, their telephone, their address, their emergency contacts, and even information on time off and jobs. The next tab we see across the top is manager. So this employee is a manager. They will have access to certain information of their employees, and we're going to go through what that information will be in a minute. This employee also has administrator access, which means that they can go in and administer employee self-serve. And of course, they have access to reports. So on your screen, the left-hand side is your navigation plane, which you can navigate between personnel, benefits, employment areas, training. There's also some menus on the bottom that could be customizable to include your policy manual or links to websites such as WHIS or CRA. In the middle is your navigation plane, is your details plane, which will always show you the information of the icon that you selected. And on the left-hand side of the screen is an instruction plane, which will tell you what what the middle section is used for. And of course, below that is related links. The next few slides will provide additional information on the connection between HRMS and the access and what a user sees versus as an employee versus a manager. As mentioned earlier, Employee Self-Serve, or ESS for short, is the web portal for employees and managers to view and interact with HRMS employee data as defined by your configuration. If you allow an employee to change information such as their address within Employee Self-Serve, you can define how the data is approved before it is updated. Here we have a summary of the core information in HRMS to the left and the options that you will have to manage that data in Employee Self-Serve. So within HRMS, we have personal file, address, telephone number. An employee can view or change that information. Other options would be contact information, education, skills, and events. Employees can view or change the information if allowed. Attachments that come from HRMS can be viewed or downloaded by the employee. Benefits and benefit letters can be viewed, and employees can get a report. The job and pay area within HRMS can be viewed by the employee in Employee Self-Serve. We show here a summary of the core information in HRMS on the left and the options you have to manage that data for managers on the right. On the left, the information that's coming across from HR, such as personal information, address, emergency contact, education, these are viewed by the manager. The manager will view the phone list, but no other personal information. They will have view access to emergency contact. They will have view access to education, skills, events. Under notes, a manager within Employee Self-Serve can add, view, edit, or delete notes associated with an employee. As far as attachments and benefits, the managers have no access within Employee Self-Serve. For job and pay, managers have view access. General organization information such as phone lists, organization charts, company policy documents, links to websites can be provided to the employee in Employee Self-Serve. If you have Sage HRMS Payroll or Sage 300 Payroll, the pay advices or pay stubs can be published after each payroll for the employee to view or to download. Company and pay information. The employee has access to the company phone list to view the org chart. For documents and files, they can download and view their documents and files. They can access websites in a new web page, and they can see their payroll advices and download them. Employee Self-Serve makes it easy to manage time off. During setup, you decide which time off plan in HRMS will be shared in Employee Self-Serve. Let's use vacation, for example. You have a few different vacation plans in HRMS with different accrual plans. What you can do with Employee Self-Serve when you publish that or when you allow access to it is you can call all vacation plans vacation so that you don't distinguish between vacations for executives versus staff. You can call it all vacation so that no one knows that their plan is unique. Here is the list of what employees see about their plan and what managers see about their plan on their direct or indirect reports. On the left-hand side of the screen is what the employee sees with time off, and on the right-hand side is what managers see. To quickly review, an employee will see their time off plans. They'll see their carryover, how much time they have accrued, how much time they've taken, any requests, and their balances. Information is shared between the employee and the manager. When the employee requests time off, a manager will be notified by email, or a manager, when they log into Employee Self-Serve, will see that there is a request for time off. Employees will also see the details from and to dates and the status for taken or not taken within time off requests. A manager sees the same information as the employee. They also see a list of requests for all his or her employees and status for a period of time. Managers also have access to a calendar to make it easy for them to see who already has taken time off on a specific day or days. Here we see that employees can request time off and see the pending and available figures update on the plan based on the request, but prior to approval. Managers are notified by email if they have that option turned on, and they can view the time off calendar for their request dates to see who else from their team will be taking that time off. Managers can view all of their team's requests for the time period on a list as well. Approval or rejection is done in Employee Self-Serve, and the employee is notified of the status. Sage 300 has a robust Canadian-US payroll system. Sage selected that payroll to be embedded within the HRMS. They also included some system manager components and the general ledger module, so payroll, earnings, and deduction codes can be linked to a GL account, and GL entries can be created. Common employee demographic information is automatically shared with the payroll module, and other data is updated with that process, like pay changes, for example. Those who do not use Sage 300, this is an all-in-one solution for your HR and payroll needs with one login. Canadian and US payroll can be used in HRMS at the same time as the employer would be processing their own payroll. I won't go into the payroll module on the session, but you can attend our payroll session later on this afternoon. If you process payroll in Sage 300, you have the same functionality, but you do not have to recreate and maintain your general ledger as you would in HRMS. Sage includes a small module called the Sage Payroll Link, or AH Link, that is installed in your Sage 300 database and is used by the payroll administrator to bring common employee data from HRMS to payroll. Depending on your employee count and the amount of active employees in HRMS, this process can be run daily, weekly, or by pay period to ensure that the common data matches. If you'd like to learn more about human resources in general and how human resources software is important to your organization, please visit our BAASS website at baass.com and find the HRIS page. We have included links to prior webinars, blogs, and posts and white papers at the bottom of that page. I'd like to wrap up the session with some information on how BAASS approaches software implementation. Every project is managed in a phased approach from beginning to end, including a kickoff, designated or the design phase, build, monitor, and go live. Project management is crucial to successful implementation. BAASS includes a project manager and PM time on all projects, and we offer these three options. Depending on your needs, one option will fit you best. We work with project manager on your team to define and manage the project plan, project scope, tasks, due dates, any change orders, milestones, and sign-off. If you look on your screen, you'll see the three options that we provide. We provide Premium, Advanced, and Essentials. Just a reminder, if you haven't submitted any questions, now's the time. We're going to take a few minutes to respond to any questions you might have had.
Thanks, Anna. I do have some questions that have already come in. So the first one I have is, can I track training in HRMS without using the train module?
The answer is yes. You can track training inside of HRMS using events.
Can HRMS track bank time for employees? Meaning, if an employee worked overtime this coming weekend, is there a way to track this time by employee if it is to be banked and taken at a later time?
Yes, you can. Under time off, besides accruing, you can also track loo time to then be taken at a later date.
And the last question I have here is, can I build my own reports in HRMS?
Yes, so HRMS ships with about 100 reports, and they also have a secure query, which is an ad hoc reporting system that you can go ahead and create your own reports. When those reports are created, you can make them private so that you only have access to generate those reports. You can make them public so that any HRMS user will have access to them, or you can assign specific users access to those reports.
In the training module, can you set alerts for then training or certs expire certificates?
So in the training module, there are dates that you can record for when items expire or courses or when the recertification needs to be done. You would need to work with, you would need to have alerts and workflow in order to be able to alert a user or users or the employees when those dates take effect.
Perfect. Okay, that does look like that's all the questions that we have now. So thank you again, Anna, for presenting.
Thank
And
you
we want
very much.